Welcome to Ethereum Catalyst Meeting 115. This is the issue number 367 on Ethereum GitHub PM repo. We have first item on the agenda is a project demo by SafeStake team. And after that, we will have Ethereum network upgrades, events, workshop hackathon information, general update discussion, and any new initiative or association with the different groups that we are working on. So starting with the first item here, let me invite Chris from SafeStake team, maybe introduce himself and provide an overview on the project. Welcome, Chris.
Hi, Pooja. Thanks so much for having me today. I really appreciate it. So I'll go ahead and get into the presentation. I'm from SafeStake, by the way. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. So essentially, SafeStake is a distributed validator technology. It is for Ethereum staking. That's why we're all here. And essentially, if you're not familiar with DVT, a lot of people aren't, some are. Essentially, DVT distributes the functions of an Ethereum validator. It allows the validator to run on multiple nodes safely and effectively. So what is SafeStake? We are a particular implementation of DVT. Ours is a trust minimized middle layer. It offers a secure, fault-tolerant, decentralized environment for Ethereum validators. So what we like to tell people essentially is what all this means. SafeStake maximizes staking rewards by securing validators, keep them online and available to perform their duties for the beacon chain securely. So why DVT? I think this is kind of where the rubber meets the road for DVT and ETH staking. So these facts, in order to earn staking rewards, the validator has to be online and available. Currently, the validator is limited to running on a single node. So there's no fault tolerance. There's a single point of failure there. The validator private key has to be online and available, so that's a bit of a security risk. And so we're seeing some of the large staking providers contributing to Ethereum centralization and censorship. So it's sort of working against the blockchain's original ethos of decentralization. So, you know, as ETH stakers, these are the things that we have to worry about. SafeStake and DVT mitigates these problems by creating that decentralized, secure, fault-tolerant environment for Ethereum validators. So this is kind of how it works, bit of a demo, if you will. So I was talking to Pooja before, and essentially to give you a demo of how it works, I would have to import a validator and go through some processes that are quick on our site, but also take some time on the chain. So I'm going to show you here. I can also take you to our website and just show you the interface when we're done. But essentially how it works is that the protocol takes a validator private key and it splits it into 4 shares. So now we have 4 encrypted key shares, and then those key shares are distributed to multiple nodes, and those nodes are managed by independent decentralized operators. And if you notice the node at the bottom there under the operators at the bottom, now the key shares are doing the work via this operator committee of 4 operators. The private key is no longer needed online. It can be stored safely offline. Continuing on this idea of the 4-operator construct. Now only 3 of them are required to create a data signature that's equivalent to the original. It isn't the original, but it's equivalent, and the validator can attest with around a 99.7% effectiveness with only 3 operator nodes attesting. That means, one node can be offline or compromised, and the validator can still do its work. This is a little bit of a diagram here of our architecture. This is so we're currently in stage 1, and I'm going to get into that in just a minute. But our stage 1 code supports 32 ETH deposits. This is more of our stage 2 architecture, where we've got staking pool going, and we're having one deposit of 2 ETH followed by the other 30 ETH coming from the staking pool. Essentially, this is how we achieve the redundancy, the fault tolerance, and the security. It's how we help to decentralize Ethereum. And it also helps to expand the validator base by lowering the staking threshold and allowing more people to participate in Ethereum staking and securing the blockchain. A little bit more about kind of how things flow. So essentially, you bring in your deposit of 2 ETH, select the 4 operators that are going to run the validator. In this scenario, this is when our distributed key generation protocol kicks in. So that securely allows these 4 operators here on the left to come together and generate the key pair without any of them ever having any knowledge of it or able to recreate it. And then we end up going through the process of gathering the rest of the ETH and registering the validator in the staking contract. So that gives you a little bit of an idea how things flow. And just some things about SafeStake here. Some of the things that we feel are advantages of our protocol. Talking about our stages here a little bit in key security. Essentially, in the stage that we're at right now, stage 1 with the 32 ETH deposit, essentially it's a drag and drop, and I'll show you that when we're done. But it's basically just go ahead and drag and drop your key into the DApp, and it goes ahead and splits it and takes care of everything on that side. And in stages 2 and 3, when we're into the staking pool with multiple depositors, that's when we are going to use our DKG. Our DKG has, as I mentioned before, no trusted dealer, if you will. None of the operators really start that process or are in charge of it. They never have custody of the private key or know the shared secret. So it's very, very secure. Again, this is our sort of no code, no tech experience needed interface. Create a validator, or if you've got an existing one, you can just drag and drop the key store files in, and you pay our fee, and you start with your DVT. This one talks about hot stuff. This is a protocol for operator committee consensus. So in the background, the operators need to come to consensus on their own and be able to attest on behalf of the validator using those key shares. Our protocol uses hot stuff, which is different than IBFT or QBFT for that matter, all Byzantine fault tolerance protocols. This allows the 3 operators to attest with high effectiveness. SafeStake greatly maximizes solo staking, essentially, solo staking nodes, operator nodes, that kind of thing. So when we're talking about this in a solo node, these hardware settings, it can run about 15 validators. Our same settings and hardware can serve around 10 times the number of validators. So it helps to scale solo node efficiency. Our protocol was also developed and written in Rust, so it performs very well. It is very secure. Our entire protocol is powered by smart contracts, and they're very secure using Rust. And again, we talked about that low 2 ETH staking threshold. Our network ecosystem consists of 3 players. The validators, of course, are stakers, as outlined there. The operators that manage the nodes, run the software, and attest on behalf of the validators, and the DAO. So the DAO is going to, was originally wrote the protocol, responsible for governance of the network, and is essentially made up of the team, those who own DVT, that kind of thing. Validators pay a monthly fee in DVT tokens. That's our native token to the operators they choose in that committee. And the DAO collects 10% of all the validator and operator yields as a fee for using the protocol. So that's how SafeStake is going to recoup when we go live on mainnet. Again, quickly about the stages, just the 32 ETH that we talked about. This is stage 2, lowering. It's going to operate a lot like, say, Lido, Rocket Pool, in the sense that users are going to get those 1-to-1 ETH staked ETH tokens for their deposit, and they can use those other places. They're fully liquid. And stage 3, which will come sometime down the road, will further lower the ETH staking threshold down to 0.1 ETH. So to sort of wrap things up here, we believe that SafeStake is going to help stakers of all sizes, give them the best of all worlds, combining the flexibility and liquidity of liquid staking platforms like Lido, Rocket Pool, similar price point, while providing that superior key security, slashing protection, and reliability and effectiveness. We do currently have stage 1 running on an incentivized testnet called Galileo, and we're encouraging people to join us, run a validator or operator node, and help us test the tech stack to scale. We'd appreciate that. And if you'd like more information, you can check our website out. The address is there. And quickly, if I just want to show you guys, let's take a look here. So essentially, we've got these 2 options. You can run a validator. This is our testnet interface. Run a validator, join as operator. So if you want to run a validator, essentially you can go through the process of creating a new one. We walk you through the process, bring you over to the Ethereum Launchpad, create the validator, get the key store file, And then basically we bring you back here to this page and go ahead and on the import existed, drop in an email for, can't type today, or notification if your balance runs low. And then here's the drag and drop. So basically you just take your key store file, drag it right in here. You can import up to 5 of them at a time, put your password in. This never touches our servers. Nothing is stored. Everything happens on the client side. So everything's ultra secure. And basically click next here, and it goes through the fee process and you're into the network. So that's it, guys. I appreciate your time and listening to me talk about SafeStake, and I hope you learned something new.
Thank you so much for the presentation, Chris. It was really nice. I love the SafeStake architecture. It was helpful to understand the overall process that you are trying to have it over here. I would encourage people to maybe drop questions if they have here in the chat. I have a couple of them, if you don't mind.
Yeah, by all means.
Thank you. So my first question is about the minimum staking threshold. You did mention about starting from 2 ETH, and there was a mention of 32 ETH in the first stage, and perhaps you also mentioned that the threshold could be decreased to 0.1 ETH. Wondering where we are right now.
Yep. So where we are right now is with the 32 ETH deposits, that stage 1 code. And basically that is to, bring the product to mainnet. We're testing that particular code version in the background. We want to make sure that is rock solid and ready to go before we introduce the liquid staking and lower the threshold. So, really we're talking about, like the other players in the space, getting a mainnet product out there with that 32 ETH deposit, and then sort of moving forward from there.
That is interesting to know. So you mentioned that the project demo, it was on the testnet. I'm wondering if you are also participating in the Holesky testnet, or is it some different testnet? Which testnet we are following here?
Yeah, so this is on Go Early testnet. Is that what you're referring to?
That's right. Yeah, I was wondering because we know that Garley is going to go away soon, and Holesky would be replacing Garley. So we generally encourage all projects to move on to Holesky as soon as possible, and to participate in the Holesky testnet. Feel free to reach out to Paritosh or me, and we can point you to the right people.
Yeah, that'd be great. I will definitely mention that and see what our plans are for that.
Awesome. And one last question is about the monthly fees for using this protocol. I understand there could be validator, there could be node runner. Will these fees be applicable only to validator or only to node runner, or to both?
So the fees essentially are from the validator to the operator. They're going to pay a set number of DVT tokens per month to the operator committee, and then the protocol will go ahead and split that out among 4 and take care of it that way. The operator does not pay a fee to anyone. What happens with that is sort of 10% of their yields, overall yields, the protocol collects, if you will. So that is there is a fee on both sides, but the validator is more of a service fee, and the operator is more of just sort of a protocol collection.
All right, that clarifies. Well, thank you so much. And I would also appreciate the team working and using language Rust for writing the entire protocol. We have recently noticed that Rust is catching up, and we are also expecting execution client in Rust called Wrath. So yeah, it's good to see another project coming up in here.
Excellent. Okay, good to know.
Right. Very well. I wonder if anyone else on the call has any question?
Yeah. So first of all, thanks for the presentation. And I had to be in and out of it, so I apologize if I'm asking something that you already directly referred to. But if I'm understanding right, so you've got one private key that's a registered validator in the deposit contract, and it's deposited 32 ETH. And then basically the work, so to speak, of that validation is being distributed to this committee of operators. So for attestations, if I'm understanding right, as long as 3 out of 4 agree on the attestations, they have the ability with their shards of the key to sign the data in a way that it's recognized. Is so far, is that correct?
That is excellent. Yep.
Oh, great. When it comes to block production, though, so we wouldn't expect all 3 operators to necessarily wish to construct the exact same block. No, how do they get to consensus on actual block production?
That's an excellent question that honestly I've never been asked before. And to be very transparent with you, I am not the tech person on the project or part of that team. I'm more on the marketing side. I would have to find that information out, because there's the separation between the proposer and the builder. I'm not entirely sure how that plays out. My understanding is that it's really no different once the data is signed on the beacon chain than if it were just one key, as far as the process going after that.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying, but that's why blocks get a little bit complicated to me, because with attestations, the data should be homogeneous across all of the operators. That makes more sense to me. But for the blind, it's okay though. I didn't mean to try and bamboozle you with the technical.
No. It's fine. It's not a problem. Maybe connect with me on Discord or Telegram. I can
try and do that.
Definitely get you more information. Absolutely.
Kind of in that direction also, you were talking about how the validation threshold gets lowered, as in to be able to validate, because each individual operator doesn't need to have the full 32 ETH deposit. At the same time, I mean, so basically, actually, let me start this from a different angle, maybe. The number 4, like the 4 operators per validator private key, is that number set in stone, or can it also be, for example, more operators than that to each private key?
Also a great question. Right now, because of, say, operator fees and making this affordable for validators, that kind of thing, and a lot of technical things also. Us and 2 other protocols, as I understand, have gone with the 4 operator construct. It doesn't mean it's set in stone. There can be more operators as part of the committee. It just that doesn't exist right now, but it is something we have talked about and can be done. So you could have 6, you could have 8. You absolutely, you could continue to decentralize it.
So then, using the 4 operator setup, so the private key itself is deposited 32 ETH. You were talking, I think, about a 2 ETH setup for the operators, that they would be required to put down a deposit of 2 Ether in order to be operators. Is that correct?
Yeah, so essentially there's in stage 2, there's an initiator role, that operator that sort of starts the whole, creates the mini pool. And we originally had that at 8 ETH, and it just got lowered to 2 ETH. So that is that initial deposit creates the mini pool, and then in that multiple depositing scenario, that's when I talked about our DKG kicking in, which is bringing the 4 operators that are going to manage the validator, allow them to create a key pair, private, public, without any of them ever having any knowledge of the original key or the shared secret. So that's kind of the secret sauce, right?
So it does mean that also in the end, I don't think this is problematic. I just want to make sure that I am understanding it right. That if you're charging 2 ETH per operator and there's 4 operators to the validator, whoever is registering the initial validator, I forgot what title you gave him, they do have substantially more at risk, so to speak. I mean, as in if there's a slashing incident, whoever made the deposit ultimately is going to lose the brunt of the slashing. Even if all 4 operators are slashed, it's only going to yield them 8 ETH back, meaning that they have 24 potentially being lost.
Yeah, so think of it this way: there's only one operator making a deposit, right? He's making the 2 ETH deposit. The rest of the pool does not have to come from 3 other operators, right? The 3 other operators are just they're going to be chosen by that initializer operator to manage the validator, but they have nothing to do with the deposit. Only the one does.
Oh, okay. So wait, then there's even okay. So I understand now that there's something missing in my understanding. Where's the 32 Ether coming from? As in, there needs to be a 32 Ether deposit also, right?
Yep. So that 2 ETH deposit is essentially filled with 30 ETH from the pool. That's in our stage 2 when we've got a staking pool, but that doesn't exist now.
And
Right.
so, and for now, so does that mean there's also like a gap in the stake and that there's kind of an initial operator? Actually, or I should probably just ask it open-ended. And now previous to the staking pool, so where's the 32 come from?
So previous to the staking pool, it's simply that you have the key store file already. We're assuming you are a single node, single person. You've got a key store file. You're dragging and dropping it. You're just picking 4 operators. It's straight up DVT. No staking pool. So that's what exists right now. When we enable our stage 2 code, that will enable the staking pool, and then essentially that's when you've got that 2 ETH deposit filled with 30 ETH from the pool, okay, by the initiator operator, but the other 3 operators he chooses. They don't have anything to do with the other 30 ETH that comes. They're just going to manage the validator and collect their fee with the initiator operator as the 4th operator in the committee.
Got it. And then the rewards basically from that validation are split between the initiator, the operators in the pool?
The reward is going to be split between that initiator operator and the other stakers that put in ETH that filled the 30 to make the 32, and then the other 3 operators are going to get paid their fee from the validator, right? So
but it's a direct fee as opposed to a percentage of rewards.
Correct. Yep.
Got it.
Correct.
Okay, I got it.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep.
That's it for me, questions wise.
Cool.
Thank you both. Anyone else has any question? Well, thanks, Chris. It was really nice to have you here on Ethereum Cat Herders call, explaining about another option available for Ethereum community for staking.
Thanks
we
so much
appreciate you taking out time.
Yeah, thanks so much, Pooja. I appreciate the invite to come and talk to you guys. So I think at this point I'll go ahead and drop off, but you guys have a great rest of your meeting and your day.
Thank you. You too. Very well. Moving on, today we are joined by a new contributor. So let me first invite him to maybe talk a few words about himself, his interest with Ethereum cat herders, and how he sees himself to be, contributing to the Ethereum ecosystem. Let me welcome Harish.
Hey, Pooja. Thank you very much for inviting me to the call. So I've been involved with Ethereum and Web3 since around 2017. And I've been a developer by trade, but I'm also doing developer relations. And I'm looking forward to contributing to ECH in terms of doing community outreach, bringing more attention to this initiative, or maybe even any other operational needs. So I'm a bit flexible over there. I need to find a home. So yeah, thank you very much for letting me come on board.
You are very welcome. I'm happy to share that Harish has already started contributing. We all know that Gitcoin grant round 18 is going to be started from today. So Harish and Santosh worked together to put up the grant application. I'm going to share the link here in the chat, as well as I will share it on the agenda for the grant round for Ethereum cat herders. So anybody listening to this call, if you are willing to support Ethereum cat herders, please feel free to share your support and love with the Gitcoin grant round 18. Moving on to the usual items for cat herders update. The first one here is Ethereum network upgrade. We all know we are working towards Cancun and Geneva upgrade. I have added the link to the specs for both, the latest specs for both the execution and consensus layer. Please check it out. We had 4844 implementers call 27 happened 2 weeks ago, not this Monday, but the Monday a week ago. I have added the link to the video recording and readiness checklist. Please check it out. There are changes included in the network upgrade, and most of them have been updated on Ethereum cat herders website page. Thank you for adding those on the website to George. Please check out ethereumcatherders.com/Dencon. There you will find the list of proposals and also the updates with respect to DevNet. Currently, we are in DevNet 8. We are having the specs available for DevNet 8, and all links are up to date. We have added a lot of resources, video and other resources that we have collected from different websites for Dencon upgrade. So all in all, if you are interested to follow the Dencon upgrade and you want to know where you can get all these information, most of them are available on ethereumcatherders.com/Dencon. Please check it out. We have also added the playlist for PEEP and EEP, where we have discussed all but one proposal. So we are expecting one other proposal with Alex Stokes. I think it is next week. And that will cover all the EIPs which are being expected with the Dencon upgrade. Last week, we had a discussion with Guillaume Bellet for the self-destruct proposal, which was in discussion for quite some time. So please check out. And there's also a request to community by the self-destruct team that if the proposal is breaking their contract by any means, and that was missed, and it is like something new that they have not found it in their research, please reach out to team on Fellowship of Ethereum Magician. Let them know about this project that you have, and the proposal may break your contract. People are working hard to find a workaround and may be able to suggest you something how we can fix the issue. I have also added the video recording for EOF implementers meeting 20. EOF is not expected with Dancon, but people are working towards the Prague upgrade. So we are also expecting this. Check out the mega specs because there are multiple proposals for EVM updates. So check out the EOF mega specs links added to the agenda. Anyone has any question, comments so far? All right, I'm gonna quickly go over events and fellowship. And yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, Gitcoin grant is open. The link is added here. Please share your support by contributing to this grant round. AdCon 2024 location has been announced. It's in Japan. I am not sure of the date yet, but people may be aware that the event would be organized in Japan. There's a translatathon by ethereum.org going on. Today is the last date for making the application. Check out the link added here in the agenda if you are interested to participate in translatathon. And for DevCon, for DevConnect Istanbul, the Istanbul co-work tickets are available now. I have added the link to the blog post shared by Ethereum Foundation, how people can get tickets to co-work space here. Okay, I'm going to maybe take up the new initiative before we go into general discussion. There is a new initiative proposed by ZK to create a video series. ZK, if you would like to maybe talk a little bit more about the concept, the idea that you have in mind, and anything Catalyst can do to support.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for giving me the time. There's been a lot of talk lately, and I'm seeing a lot of Twitter threads and stuff where people are talking about, building your own full node and getting that started. And basically all the comments in those types of threads are people who are probably software developers who have never stood one up, kind of in the same position I'm in, who are afraid of the technical complexity or the cost and things like that. So I thought it'd be really cool if we made like a video series that goes from zero understanding of how to build a full node, like following the Ethereum docs for how to stand one up and going through the whole process and showing all the troubleshooting and everything that goes into standing one up, building it. The total cost will be put in there and everything. And we can make a whole bunch of content out of it, putting out blog posts, status update videos, tutorials, and we can experiment with, what is it like to stand one up that is using the dApp node software or using dApp node hardware even, or building your own hardware and then using, something off the shelf to put together, different ELCL combinations. I think it'd be a fun way to kind of increase visibility and give people kind of a tutorial that's more video oriented to follow if they want to become a solo staker or just set up a full node. And
does
in
ETH
terms
Staker
of,
have anything like that?
I haven't seen anything. A lot of people are basically referring to, there's one like ethereum.org page that has a whole bunch of resources that you can go through. Let me drop that in. And then there's another one that I saw that a lot of people were referring to. I think it was potentially by dApp node, but yeah, I haven't seen anything like that yet. I'm
cool.
seeing one from, there's a hyperledger.org blog post that kind of goes over it. I am going from zero to building a full node. So, it would be great if we could use some of our connections and, just make sure that the information that gets put out there is accurate and good. And, if people want to help out and help me figure out how to quash some bugs and stuff, that'd be great too.
I mean, just taking a quick look at YouTube, I would imagine you've done this also. It does look like there are, but I don't know if they're any good. not from ETH Staker per se also. One thing that I think I might recommend before doing it is actually just poking into ETH Staker and asking them if there is anything like this, because I think they'd be the most likely people to know about it.
Totally. Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
I think, yeah, it's a good idea, of course. And even if ETH stakers have it, we can also have the information shared. We just need to make sure that whatever are being shared by us is something new. And I am also thinking about, like you just shared about Besu Hyperledger blog post over here. So if you are doing a video content to make sure that the content is right, we can perhaps reach out to team if you are using different CL-EL combination when the video is recorded, or we can invite those team members to have a look for the correction of the information, right?
Yeah, that would be great. I don't currently see anything on ETH Staker, but I'm definitely looking.
I'm just asking them in their Discord. I didn't see like
Oh,
also
okay.
just taking a
Yeah.
quick look in YouTube. I didn't see anything from them specifically, but if any of the other things, if you just do like Ethereum run your own node, so there are hits. I don't know if any of them are any good, and I feel like they'd be the people who'd be the most likely to know.
Cool.
I definitely love the idea and open to support if you would like to maybe start the series. But I mean, if you're checking with the ETH staker, that's fine. Otherwise, I can also ping next to make sure we are not stepping on anyone's toes here, and we are trying to produce a little bit different content.
Could you send me an invite maybe to the Discord? I don't see a link readily available.
Give me 1 sec. I'll try and do it.
Cool. Thank you.
I think we have some people on Canada's Discord as well from Stakers community. I'm just trying to make sure, just trying to take a look if we have the tag open for each staker. If not, then no, I don't see that tag as there. Very well. Or you can check it in the Discord as well. Cool. Thank you. So the next item here is update on ECH access, especially for Twitter. I think the access have been updated now. Santosh has also the access to Twitter, and we are trying to start sharing information using CatHerder's Twitter. Mostly we'll try to create threads and also share the information with respect to the DenCon upgrade. We have a lot of content. We would like to increase the reach with repeated and regular tweets going out. And the last thing here is about the new ideas for community engagement. We always appreciate bringing up new suggestions, new ideas, how we can increase Ethereum CatHerder's reach to the community. Last week, having a chat with Harish, we collected some of the ideas, hope to get some more clarity on those, or maybe we can pick up one of the ideas in the next meeting agenda to discuss more and collect more thoughts from the group so we can start working on it. Okay, so the next one here is general updates and discussion. KZZ ceremony special contributions blog post issued by Trent and Carl. The special contribution period was open for a few days. I hope if you haven't made your contribution earlier, you could have done it in this one. But this is a detailed blog post about the ceremony since it started. I would appreciate people taking a read of it. This is something interesting that we are trying to create more education about, KZZ and the protocol thing that we are trying to have it with 4844. So you may check out the blog post here. In recent news, we heard about Gitcoin's collaboration with Shell. I found it interesting because this is another way of getting mainstream aligned towards the blockchain community about the open source ecosystem. So it's a good thing to see many mainstream organizations coming up and joining us. On ECH stats, I have added the stats for Discord, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. We also have added the link to all the social media. So if you are not subscribed to, or if you aren't aware, if you are not on our Discord, you can check the link over here and join our Discord. And the next one is ECH Engineering. I did mention about the Dencon page. I wonder if we have anything new here to add, George.
There's still some stuff on the docket that I do have listed out, like adding Google Analytics. There's the EIPs for inclusion. I think I need to remove one of them if I haven't already. And then just like a little bit of polishing on the Dencon page in terms of reordering the sections, just make it look a little better. So
Just a cleanup part. And there was this survey thing that we wanted to fix. I think the link is still and currently running, but now we have a report available on Medium. So we can perhaps move this last survey to survey completed section.
yeah, so there's a PR for that already. Just need to
Okay.
add the report link. So
Okay, so the report is on Medium, Catalyst Medium.
okay, great. I could add that.
Awesome, thank you. On ECH operations, we are creating YouTube Shorts. I have received YouTube Shorts of past staking demos that we have in Catalyst Meeting. I'm hoping to upload them soon. Maybe we can start releasing one every week. Today was the third staking demo that we invited the team to present it in our call. But we will have those clips available on Ethereum Catalyst YouTube. On Peep and Eep Shorts, we are adding them in community playlist. You can check out for every proposal in the past 3 months, I believe, that we have discussed. On ECH podcast, glad I have Ziki on the call today. I am hoping that we are almost in sync. Where are we, Ziki?
So EIP 7045 goes out this week. It's already edited and done. I just need to put it out. And then I think there's one more that I haven't gotten the video for. But after that, we're up to date.
Right. I think the other one is 6780, which we released this week. So perhaps you can release it in the following Thursday.
Yep.
I will share.
I
will update the audio of it for you.
Cool. Thank you.
So that's it about ECH podcast. On EIPS Insight, I think the version 2 of EIPS Insight website is live now. As per the latest update, we have 4 draft proposals, 5 proposals in review, 1 proposal in final, and 1 in the last call. So the final proposal is proposal 2135, consumable interface, ticket, etc. I think it is by William or Zinbelov. I'm sorry if I have mispronounced his name. The proposal in last call is a ERC 6492 signature validation for pre-deploy contracts. The last date for review is 29th August. Anyone having any thoughts on this proposal, they have suggestions, and they would like to see any spec change, please reach out to authors. On Fellowship of Ethereum Magician, we are not allowing any changes post the proposal is moved to the final. So please request all your changes before this is moved to final status. That's on EIP's Insight. On PEEP and EEP, as I mentioned earlier, we are hoping to have conversation on EIP 4788 beacon block route with Alex Stoke. That's planned on September 5th. We will be having DNAP testing with Paritosh Jayanti, Mario, and Barnabas Busa on August 22nd. We are also having a talk on Holesky testnet. Holesky is expected to be live on 15th of September. So we have planned a talk with Paritosh on September 27th, a week after that. So we can perhaps talk about how is it working, like where we are, is the replacing of Gorley being successful, and how people can, normal project can join and participate in Holesky testnet, because Gorley will not be maintained by developers, Ethereum developers anymore. We are hoping and requesting projects to move their project on Holesky rather than Gorley. On meeting notes, I suppose we have received meeting notes for ACDE 167, ACDC 115, and I have also added the recording and agenda for the next meeting for EIP editing office hour. I will have to take a look what happened with EIP. I don't see the link to the notes here. Well, I think that's all from the items for discussion here. Anyone else has anything to bring up, want to share anything? Very well. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Hope to see you in 2 weeks, and we can continue discussing things on different channels at Ethereum Catalyst Discord. Have a great day, everyone.